Hello, I am the H-Town vet, and I would like to welcome you to this live stream, a place where we will discuss a variety of benefits available to veterans, active duty members, and their dependents. Come into the room, family. Be patient while I check my sound. Come into the room, family. Come into the room. I am the H-Town vet, and I would like to welcome you to this live stream, a place where we will discuss a variety of benefits available to veterans, active duty members, and their dependents. Give me a moment to check the sound. I didn't have it hooked up right. Thank you. The sound is great, so we're going to go ahead and get started. As I said, I am the H-Town vet, and I'd like to welcome you to this live stream, a place where we will discuss a variety of benefits available to veterans, active duty members, and their dependents. Come into the room, family. So glad that you are here. Jay Oliver says, good evening, H-Town and veteran family. And he was the first in. And I told him, welcome, Brother Jay. Coasty came in and said, hi, H-Town and the family. Everything sounds good. Thank you, Betty Bops. Everybody speaking. Jay Oliver says, sounds good. Betty Bops says, good. I had my niece check it out on her laptop. So, but I didn't have the thing hooked up. I was actually first talking to you through my my laptop, not laptop, my MacBook or whatever this thing is called. Now, family, we're going to get into it. So glad y'all here, family. So glad that y'all greeting each other. And family, we appreciate you. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So for those of you that are new to the channel, we do have a 5-day wait. You have to be subscribed 5 days in order to communicate in the chat, but you can be part of the live stream or watch it recorded. All right. Now, we do this because of trolling issues, and it's been very effective in dealing with trolling issues because this channel is a little different from others. We actually interact with the chat. That's a main a large part of our live stream is interaction. So with that, if you pray for the rain, you got to deal with the mud. You get me? So we have to put special precautions in, and we apologize if that causes any inconvenience. Now, family, I thought I'd go ahead and tell you up front, we had that pay scale for 2026. You're going to be almost getting $4,000 a month for a veteran alone. Here's the pay scale, new pay scale that's in effect for the cost of living increase. If you haven't done so far, family, smash that like button. Smash that like button. They already coming through. We have 6 likes and 5 watching. That's good. Thank you for that. Thank you, Betty Bouse, for that. Now we're going to get on topic tonight. And the topic for tonight is we're going to be talking about Senator Tommy Tuberville. We're going to talk in particularly some of the contradictory things he does as far as in our mind how he moves when it comes to veteran benefits and the compensation that we receive. Now, this is not an indictment on all senators or Congress persons, men and women. No, because we know that they do a hard job and they have a lot of sacrifices. So we don't have a problem with them getting benefits and stipends. We're only calling out the ones that are hypocritical, who scrutinize what we get as veterans while taking every dime that they can get from their position. Okay? Yeah, you don't see us sitting here bothering people. No, if you're getting it, getting it. But don't sit here and hate on us. So, family, we want to thank you. So, the way it works is the Senate, when the Senate meal stipend, they get $79 a day per day for food, whatever dinner, lunch they eat or whatever. However, it can go as high as $92, depending on the cost of living in the area that they are in. And we got Brother Charles to say, evening shipmate Betty Bob's Coasty and Jay Oliver. Come on, fam. He's in the room. And if you break down a 90% rating per day, that'll be $78.75. So you're actually getting 4 cents more than Senator Tuberville on his stipend, at least. And he's been real critical or been calling people up that's real critical of benefits. But we're going to talk tonight. We're going to see what our Congress Senator Tammy Duckworth said and how she stood up for us. We're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to just say he's ugly. So as we say, that's like he makes more than somebody with a 90% rating just for food every day. Wow. And think about this. The average person, if you break it down by day and the number of people in their household, the average person that receives SNAP benefits, formerly known as food stamps, they only get $6 per day. Now he makes 6 figures. Okay, so that's the question. The question is, come on, family. I forgot to put the question in there. We're going to talk about it. Then we got Van Olive in the room. Appreciate you, Van Olive. Everybody show love to Van Olive. Huh? So glad that you were here, Van Olive. Now, here's the thing. The question is, how can Senator Tuberville make 6 figures and still receive a food stipend, similar to SNAP, while criticizing our benefits? Want that to be run smoother, deal with the large amounts of money that's given out. He talks slick, but he ain't slick. Now, Charleston say, Jay Oliver, H-Town, thank you. Last time, oh boy, I got to figure this out. Let me move over here. And he say, Jay Oliver, H-Town, thank you. Last time about your research on the Senate, I wanted to thank you also. Yes, indeed. You wasn't here, Jay Oliver. You really helped us, and everybody's speaking. Thank you so much for the information and for helping us make this possible. And Brother Charleston told me about it. So the way it works is this here. All right. U.S. senators and representatives of the House. So that's the Congress and the Senate. All right. House of Representatives and the Senate, I'm sorry. So receive a daily per diem allowance for meals and can we talk? Hold on. You know it never stops there. But wait, it gets worse. I ain't gonna say it's bad. And incidental expenses. What in the world is an incidental expense? So MIE, meals and incidental expenses when traveling for official business, which recent figures hover around $79 to $92. So when they're going on official business, but they can't be going, I guess. I'm going to break it down. I don't know how you're going to track it because of the way they do it. Now listen to what Betty Bob said. H-Town, you told me to research. They have rooms in their offices. Wow. They do have to go to a hotel. They don't have to go to a hotel, but they still get paid for their per diem for housing, I'm assuming. Oh boy, we're about to get to it. Listen what Charleston say, dry cleaning. Brother, what you don't understand, they have miscellaneous expenses, my brother. You know, they call them incidental, but you know, when you picking up and hugging those babies, one of those babies might spit up on the senator or congressman or congresswoman. So they got to be able to get their stuff clean because of things that happen in a line of duty. Did I make it plain? Am I cleaning it up for Congress members? And this is each day. And so they get paid this amount daily. This is for every day. I don't know if they do them in one lump sum, but it's a daily payment. And it depends. We said $79 to $92. It depends on, and I'm right about that 92. It depends on, it's right on the writing, but in my mind, that's all. It depends on the cost of living and the cost of living of food and different things in your area. So it depends on your location. Lunch and laundry money. Uh-oh, I'm trying to dance around that Coasty, don't call it out. I'm trying to be nice to him. Look, Betty Bob say, no one ever gave us, any of us on our dress uniforms. No. Let me ask you this here. If you had to pay to get your dress uniforms cleaned in the military when it was time for you to go to something official or travel home, if you had to pay for it on your own, put something like an iron in the chat or put clean in the chat. Put clean, dry clean in the chat. Put the words dry clean if you had to pay for your own uniforms. When you were in the military, in particular your dress, we call them dress blues for us. Now, Coasty said lunch and laundry money. Come on, we gonna explain, bro. We trying to. Gold-bellied pecan to their favorite project family. Yes. Because they scrutinized, and remember they cut SNAP benefits. I want to know why they didn't, since SNAP benefits was cut, why didn't they cut benefits dealing with the food stamps, with the SNAP benefits for Congress? They cut the per diem stipend. They didn't cut that, but they cut the SNAP benefits for others. I just have, oh, come on now. Listen, he say, LOL, this is Charleston. But Betty Bob shipmate at those gentlemen clubs, accidents happen. They say incidental, we're cleaning it up here. Incidental, not accidental. I know you don't understand that. They got to get lap dances might require the suits to be clean. Am I getting messy with it? If you had to pay for your own, put a $sign in the chat. Look, money for haircuts too. Why are you making it sound bad, Coasty? Coasty, they gotta have a haircut to stand before Congress. The haircut might cost $200-300 now, but because they're traveling, they need a more expensive haircut, or because they have, ooh. And for the women, it's going to be more. Dry cleaning, yes, she had to pay for her own dry cleaning. Then Betty Bob says, "You're right, Coasty. My hairstyle was $100." Whoa! Now she say was, it's more than that now, right? Because you know how them sisters, Charleston Z, they nasty. They caught a few of the idiots back in the day. I don't know if y'all remember back in the 80s, early 90s, they caught them putting it on the credit card, paying for some stuff at the club, the gentleman's club. Glitter and lipstick stain. Why y'all had to be hard on them? Listen to us, Congress people and Congress ladies, and especially the congressmen now. You know that it might be more expensive in these gentlemen clubs depending on the cost of living, of the cost of stripping, Lap dances may vary. Now, and it's tax-free. You're going to get mad at something else I'm about to show you. Not only is the food, the meal stipend tax-free, just like our VA compensation is tax-free, right? But they do us one better. Now remember what I'm about to tell you. Okay? So it's tax-free, just like somebody, they get a little more than somebody with a 90% VA disability rating, and that's tax-free too, right? But wait. What they said, Betty Bob said, well, they have the money to buy that lipstick from Coco Chanel. That's some expensive stuff. How much are those Prada bags right now? Betty Bob's. Tax-free. They don't have to provide no receipts. So wherever they going, wherever they bought the food, because some of these establishments, these gentlemen lounge, they do say that they are restaurants too now. Some people say the food is good. I don't know if I can eat with all that sweating going on, but I'm just saying. They don't have to provide receipts. Isn't that convenient? We have to provide evidence, but they don't. Come on now. Coasty say, we paid for haircuts, dry cleaning, and our incidentals. So if we rip something, if we needed boots other than the government issue, if we were stationed in Germany, if we were stationed in Japan, and we needed those insulated boots, who had to buy them? Did the U.S. military provide them, or did we have to purchase them? If you had to purchase your own boots, especially weather boots, put snow next to the boots, and boots, just put regular boots, put them in there. Put a pair of boots in the chat, or the word boot in the chat. Yeah, they don't have to provide no receipts for these incidental or miscellaneous, we'll say, expenses. Okay, family? Y'all trying to make it sound bad. Y'all trying to make it sound like it's they doing something nefarious. They just serving the country. They putting their constituents first. Now y'all really gonna be mad. Now think about this. Not only is it tax-free money, right? It adds up to, I forget what that is, a little over $2,000 and something a month. Not only is it tax-free, it's tax deductible. So they provide the money to Congress members, this food stipend and incidental. I know I wish they use another word, because that makes it sound nefarious. Incidental expenses. Not motel visits, okay? Depending on what motel it is, I guess. Now, yes, She had to pay for them. Wow. Her own weather boots. Wow. And they're expensive. Those Matterhorns was $100. On the ships, do y'all have to have insulated boots too? On the ships or just off the ships, Navy members? Jay Oliver says boots. Okay. Say boots. Okay. Thank y'all for putting those in the chat. Now let's see what our brother Charleston saying here. So Brother Charleston said, when ITAD for classes in Navy traveled, I had to bring back receipts. Why you rules for thee, not for me? Of course, our entertainment in events I didn't submit back at ship. I honorable sailor. That's right. Yes. Yeah, we used to have to submit stuff. When we go TDY, didn't we have to submit stuff? Gas receipts and all that. How y'all feel about the fact that Congress doesn't have to bother themselves with that? Do you think they should have to do that? And the same money that's given to them, so they getting a blessing off of it twice. They get the funds, $78 or more a month, $79, I mean. Then they get to claim that waive that on their taxes, deduct it from their taxes. So that's at least what is it, about 2,000? Let's say 2,200. Let me see what it is. Give me a second. I'm gonna look. It's a little more. Somebody multiply 79 times 30. Now, $79 times 365 days and see what you get. 79 times 365 days. $79. We're going to the low end of it. We want to know what they're going to get deducted. Let us know, family, because we want to know what they get to deduct, how much they get to deduct. 79 times 30, then times that times 12, or you can just 79 times 365 days. What amount would that come out to, family? Ooh, that's a lot of change. They get to deduct $28,835 at least, depending on the state that they're living in and the cost of living in that state. They get more, up to 92. Family, is that a lot of money for somebody making? So remember, this is money coming to them. They're not taxed on it, and they get to deduct it off their taxes. Should we be able to deduct our VA disability off taxes? I know it's not taxable. If we do claim taxes for the stuff, like they're able to deduct this, they get a blessing coming and going. Am I hating? Oh, let me see what we say. Why do ladies always quick on math when dollars involved? Because they count the money. Women are mathematicians. Huh? The only thing they know how to do is multiply and divide. Ain't gonna do no subtraction. Now, this could be for things like, I wonder, can they use it for Uber Eats and things like that? What y'all think? Do you think they'll be able to use that $79 for that? They don't have to provide receipts. Can you see somebody spending $28,835 for food for themselves? That sounds like a lot. Is that too much, or am I underestimating? Especially if you go to Starbucks, that stuff is too expensive. Who drinks Starbucks? Let us know. Put a why in the chat. If not, let us know why. Too expensive, you don't like it. They hot chocolate. I don't drink hot chocolate. It tastes nasty. You know, I'm quick about my Sorrel. I hear you. What's that? SCRILLA. Cirilla. Man, y'all cutting up. So I'm gonna ask you a personal question now. Okay. When you go out for food, when you go out to restaurants to eat, how do you balance what you want? Is it the price or the value of the food? Okay. Which one lays on you heavy? And how do you balance that? In particular, family, I want you to answer this here. When you're going to eat, whether it's pizza, soup, seafood, salmon, fried fish, Tex-Mex, you know, I like Mexican food too. What's the most important thing to you? Please put in the chat. Is it the quality? Put quality in the chat. Service or price? I know all three of them are important, but tell me the one that's the most important to you. That it's a deal breaker. If you had to choose one, what would be the most important? I'm gonna tell you what mine is. When you're going out to eat, what is the most important thing? Is it the quality of the food, the price of the food, or the service from the people working at the establishment? Let us know. For H-Town, it is the service. Because I don't care how good the food is, if you got bad service, I'm not going to want to really eat it. I'm not going to feel comfortable eating it. But Jay Oliver says it's the quality of food. Then Jay Oliver says quality. Okay. Which is it for y'all? Let us know. What's the most important thing for you? Let us know. Is it the quality of the food, the price of the food, or the service that was given when delivering the food to you and preparing? Let us know. And what is your favorite type of food? I would think, what is my favorite type of food? I eat chicken a lot, but I love soups if I could do soups. But I guess seafood is one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites, fam. Now listen to what Betty Bob say, our sister Betty Bob. She says, I barely went to restaurants when I was a flight attendant. That's amazing. Carried a small electric frying pan and cooked in my room, especially when I was in international. I cooked. I don't trust people. Trying to listen to what our brother Coasty says. Trying to get someone else to pay. LO. What's the main thing? Trying to get somebody else to pay. All free food tastes good, don't it? Y'all a mess. Coasty a mess. Y'all here say trying to get somebody else to pay for it. Coasty, watching you with my good eye. Come on, fam. We're going to lighten this up. How do y'all feel about the kind of catch-all when it comes to, yes, a food, it's a meal stipend, but it also covers miscellaneous things. Incidental. It sounds like an accident, don't it? Seafood is Jay Oliver's most favorite. What's your favorite type of food? Is it barbecue, seafood? What's your favorite type of food? Is it some type of vegetables? Are you a vegan? Let us know. Is it pastas? Greek food? I'm gonna tell you one thing I like. I guess I don't know if it's Greek or not. I ate it in Germany. They had a lot of Greek restaurants there. Was corn on blue. That chicken that's kind of fried and it has cheese and it's fried in a batter. It has cheese and what else in there right on the inside? Corn on blue. I forgot that. Yes, fam, we're trying to keep it light. Let us continue. Oh, there go to dry cleaning. How y'all feel about that dry cleaning? Or do you have a problem with them being able to get their clothing cleaned and use it. Because we know dry cleaning can be very expensive. So now, hold on, they got a shirt there. Hold on, a dress shirt don't cost no $43 and 15 cents, do it? It don't cost that much for a shirt to be clean, does it? Or 2 shirts to be clean, does it? Let us know. That receipt kind of upsets me. Is that Senator Tuberville's shirt? Let me know. Why am I hating on this man? Now, we know about the Senate hearing, and this is what brings us here with Senator Tuberville. Putting veterans first. Is the current VA disability system keeping its promise? This is what triggered it after, and there's Senator Tuberville looking harmless. It's ham, cheese, and chicken cordon bleu. That's right. Chicken cordon bleu, that's what it's called. If they went fisticuffs in Congress, I'd say okay. I forgot what fisticuffs mean. I forget what fisticuffs mean. I've heard that term, but I forgot what it means. Now, he had all these people crashing out, dry cleaning and suit repair. Okay. All right, dry cleaning and suit repair. Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed. Stains and everything. They got all these people to crash out, right? And now they had all these people talking bad about us, and we couldn't do nothing. Nobody was hearing from us. It wasn't the regular veteran in the room. Everybody there either worked for a VSO or was handpicked to come to the Senate hearing by congressmen, or they were congressmen or senators themselves. And they were handpicked like Gade was. Now, I see him as a hypocrite, not because he get these benefits. I want to be clear to y'all. I have no problem with people that are a member of Congress getting certain stipends they might need it. But in particular, for Tuberville, who penny pinches everything, should he give up his stipend? Should he give up his food stipend? Now, fisticuffs, brawl, fight. Yeah. I knew it was violence. I forgot. I must have been drunk when I was fighting because I forgot what they mean. Look, we're not going scorched earth here. We're not trying to attack senators and people individuals that are members of the House of Representatives. We're not going scorched earth. We're going after the people that are attacking us and showing their hypocrisy. All right, other things that are covered. And tell me how you feel about this here. Costs related to travel. That's reasonable. That's why I say we're not going scorched earth. There's some things, if they live in another state, it's reasonable that they'll be able to do what? They'll be able to, have travel for gas and different things like that, and flights. When it relates to, what they're doing. Now, I wonder if they have, when they're in the airport, do they have special move where they can go through, faster through the airport? I wonder. Or do they have to do the same as everybody else? And, I think sometimes you'll see the congressman when you on those buses coming from I was in Arlington, Virginia, and going across the bridge into DC, and I think you see them on there sometimes. Now, Jay Oliver says Tuberville still's getting paid by Auburn. He can give up his stipend. He's still getting paid by the college. Wow, must be nice. And they want to pay him because they don't want to make him mad. Family, how much gas? Because you got to understand, if they're driving their own vehicles or they're going places, even if they're using an Uber, gas stuff is pricey right now. And they need that money for travel. Let me ask you, where you at Is gas costing an arm, a leg, or both? For regular gas, it's costing you an arm. For plus unleaded, it's costing you a leg. For super unleaded, it's costing you both. Which one is it costing you? Which kind of gas do you put in there? If you put in regular, put arm. You see right next to it. If you put in plus gas, put leg. If you put in super unleaded, put both. I kind of use regular. What do you put in there? Okay. All right. Now I say arm, so I put regular. Which kind you put in there? We're going to get the prices in a minute. I want to know what y'all use. So Big Blue uses regular too. Arm, it costs them an arm. We're going to get the prices in a minute. I'm about to get to that too. Betty Boss say, oh, look at her. Yeah, y'all put an arm in the chat. Put some arms in the chat. Cost arm. If it's a leg, put a leg. If it costs you an arm and a leg, put an arm and a leg in the chat. No shot, no shade at you, Lieutenant Colonel Gabe. Everybody show love to Big Blue. Yes, indeed. Family, that's why I'm trying to have it where we have fun when we do this here. Now, right now, I think about the average price here in the Houston area is about $2.21 for unleaded gas. If now you go to Costco, it's like $2.05 for unleaded. What's the prices looking like where you at right now? So Charleston said right now it's about $3.10, and we just want to know, starting with unleaded. Let us know how much unleaded is for you right now, if y'all have an idea or what you remember. Let them know. Right now, here's like about $2.20, $2.21, $2.21. How's that gas where you at? Let us know. Thank y'all, family, for your patience. And because they might be having to stay near the Senate, and from what I forgot that what y'all told me, sometimes they have a room in the Senate, they'll sleep in their office. So Jay Oliver say regular gas, the arm, is $2.31. So if you're gonna put in what's the second? What's after regular? Regular, the plus gas, you put an arm and a leg in there and then put the amount. No, you put a leg in there if it's just the plus gas. An arm for regular gas, a leg for plus, and an arm and a leg for super unleaded. All right, $3.19. It's kind of, hold on, $3.19 for you in Maryland, and our brother is not too much different. $3.10 in Pennsylvania. Interesting. Y'all temperature tends to be the same, and your gas prices. Charleston say PA has highway tax on fuel for our great roads. Are you being sarcastic? Now listen, let's talk about this rooms here. Keep talking about whatever we've been communicating about. Betty Bob say H-Town, the room is fully loaded with like a hotel. So the room they got in Congress is like a hotel. But why do they still need to get rental assistance? I don't understand. Do they still get the rental assistance if they stay in their room at their Congress office? They always trying to cut our money, but they getting all the benefits. Saying hi to Big Blue. Big Blue, we so glad you're here. Family, we getting through this. Now, here's the takeaways that we have. And family, we got this part of the game out the way. 40 minutes, we doing good. Key takeaways. Senators get a significant daily allowance for food and incidentals. Don't you try to sully that word, Incidentals could be something godly, separate from their base salary, using federal per diem rates that vary by location, depending on the state or the city that you are in, which is a common practice for federal travelers, but often debate publicly due to its contrast with average citizen food assistance, aka food stamps, aka SNAP benefits. They get more than they do. There's somebody that's on that poverty line or receiving government assistance. High town, that's their status. Oh Lord, Colorado gets weed. Wow. I wonder, do they have any of those the devil's lettuce in any of the VAs? They don't have them dispensaries at the VA, do they? Depending on the state that legalize it. Here in Texas, it's not legalized. Family, so we summed that up. I hope we went over that, and we're going to be going into more about the different things that they get, just so you can be informed, not to upset you, because I appreciate the work that many of them do, but we're going to call out the ones that's being hypocritical. We're not pocket watching here. We are not pocket watching. I believe that people should make, a reasonable income for the work that they do. But how you gonna get paid to work against veterans when you're lying and say you're? Jay says only April 20th. Wow, what's going on April 20th? What day is tax day? April 15th. Oh, here we go. We talked, some of y'all brought him up last live stream. We did come in for a little while last night. Apologize, it was last minute. Our brother Dogface Soldier gave us some breaking news. Go back and watch it. It was some stuff going on. Sib Dib and our brother Sib Dib and our brother veteran Veteran Info Tap. They was talking about what we talk about all the time, and I'm glad that they're getting on the board with it too. You got to stay consistent. We can't be, because we don't like stress, but we're gonna talk about this Sheethy. Okay, he tries to give veterans tough love. H-Town like a babe in the woods. I'm sensitive. Now, this I believe he's a senator. Sheedy. He's a member of Congress. I guess he felt that he's gonna give veterans tough love. And if you are not a victim. So if you get PTSD, traumatic experience, you say patch them up and keep them moving. No money. Huh? We ain't paying victims. You're a veteran, not a victim. Suck it up and drive on. Huh? So if he's saying you ain't getting he really don't want you to get treated unless he kind of and other people in his little clique agree with it, and he's saying some of the same terminology as all the other ones. You won't be surprised. He's some, wait for it, special forces kind of guy. Born in 1985. He was about 5 years old when I was over in Desert Storm, but he gonna tell me about combat. You understand? He think I can learn something from him. Now, they weren't in little skirmishes, depending on whatever, but these were like, it's different than being on a battlefield. They were doing, I forget what they call them, but we call them like skirmishes. We'd have different little things between the battles. Somebody hiding behind a building, shooting a machine gun. So we got to kind of shoot the wall down because, they may have a rocket launcher behind their bazooka or something. Now, wearing MIA, KIA bracelets. Was he MIA, KIA? Can't be. Oh, that's what that is. Wow. He looks older than 40. God, dog. Y'all let it by say, that's probably when he was a prisoner of war, because you say he wearing the bracelet. I ain't saying he was. I'm joking around now. Shout out to all the people that were prisoner of war. Respect, especially late John McCain and those that were missing in action. The first day of bombing in Desert Storm, I believe he's a captain, and his plane went down. You know, respect to his family. They finally found the plane. I don't know if they ever found him. I'll never forget that. He flew off a ship, and some of y'all may know about that, what ship he flew off of. I don't know. But I know that first night, I was always worried about him and his family, because the way his sister spoke on the, on the television, his parents, it really impacted me. Because I felt like, I almost felt like we let him down, because we weren't there yet, because he was doing the bombing kind of before we got there, And I wish we would have been there where his plane went down to help him. I know that's unrealistic thinking, but that's how I feel about it. Kosi he said you should go to Foot Locker if you need shoes insoles, not the VA. That's what he said. Now think about it. He's getting all kind of perks, given the fact he's in this special club, right? Now he say, love, but I love him. H-Town the best. Oh, boy. Let's see. Yes, indeed. No money. Fair use, fair use. Please do not let this guy trigger you. Remember, he's a youngster. Gade is about my age. Gade is probably about 2 years younger than me. He think he's 56 or 50 something like that. My 55. I'm 57. But this youngster gonna be speaking like he know everything. You understand? So let's get to it, family. Yes. Now he's interesting because he's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Fair use, family. This is for educational and informative purposes only. Okay? This is for educational and informative purposes only. So we're going to get ready to pull this up. Fair use, fair use. We thank y'all for your patience, and we appreciate everything that y'all doing and how y'all coming in. I want you to hear him. This is him speaking. This is at the same hearing, but I like this one here because I ain't have to look for it. This is from Forbes, fair use, Forbes breaking news, and we're going to get this on the screen. Fair use, fair use. All right, fam. Let's see what we got here. I always like Forbes. They have such a they have better cameras, I feel. I guess because they're a news agency. They have much better cameras than the other one. Let me turn this media off. And let us get to it, fam. Let's see what's going on. Let's hear what he said. We didn't get to cover in the Senate hearing what he said, but a little segment. Now we're going to hear him, and then we're going to have another video from him when he's talking outside of his position as a congressperson. Let's get to it. Let us know. Put speakers if you can hear it.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you all for being here today. As a fellow combat veteran of multiple tours, married to a combat veteran, I take these issues very seriously. And
so everybody got to holler. I'm a combat veteran. I'm married to a combat veteran. He could be male or female. I don't know. I don't knock his lifestyle. And he married to a combat veteran. He didn't say a she or he. So it's all good. Now, no insults intended. But, he wants to say, he's a combat veteran. His spouse, I'm assuming is probably a woman, is a combat veteran. And they baby going to be a combat veteran. Come out with a helmet on or something. I don't know, man. This is a whole bunch of super soldier hero worship kind of stuff. Even Audie Murphy didn't act like this, man. Audie Murphy, the most decorated soldier in World War II, was humble. You understand? The Tuskegee Airmen, I can't say their name, I'm sorry. Those black soldiers that Eleanor Roosevelt said, I want them to protect me when I'm flying in Europe. That's what she said. And guess what they did? They did it, and they never lost a bomber. Huh? Some of them lost their lives. All black flying squadron. If you ever see the movie Red Tails, you'll know what's up. Now let's see here. Now, y'all got to be nice because remember, he is Navy too, like you. He went to the Navy Academy, so y'all got to be nice. Listen to what Charleston say. How come no one says I married a sailor or say I was on a U.S. Navy ship? Now, they act like they were in somewhere that airplane just flew off the moon and landed somewhere. I think in another video he says, I think he said he met her in the Naval Academy. The only time they've mentioned Navy is the Navy Academy, Navy SEAL, just Navy. No, because they're not regular Navy. There's something else. He never said he was Navy. Didn't H-Town tell y'all? They don't really identify as their branch of service or as a veteran. There's something else. Let's listen.
I want to echo some comments made from our VFW partners about some poisonous and disgusting rhetoric from the Washington Post recently that accused our veteran community and our broader veteran service organization community of fraud, of taking advantage of the American people.
Now, looks like he's standing up for the veteran, but watching this next video, even in here, he pivots. Pay attention.
When this group of people, this body of veterans, raised their hand and swore an oath to defend this country, the system's not perfect. There's no question. The VA is not perfect. Veterans are not perfect, and there is fraud, no doubt. But the byline of that rhetoric should not be attacking the people that chose to defend this nation. It should be an internal examination of how we do things better in this government and how we make the VA focused on veteran outcomes and patient outcomes and not process. We've been lost in the bureaucracy for too long in the VA. It's about time we have a customer service-oriented organization.
He say service, not process. What process is he talking about? Is he talking about processing claims? Is he talking about processing VA claims that's tied to money? Huh? They keep bringing up this word service. What they talking about, fam? They keep bringing up the word service. So your service, everybody's service has a level. There's tiers of service in the military. If you are part of a special forces, you on one tier. If you're a combat veteran, you on another tier. If you are a officer, you're on another tier. If you're a female veteran, you're on a lower tier. If you're a non-combat veteran, you down in the dirt. Let them tell it. Come on, tell us more about this, sir.
That's focused on optimal outcomes for veterans. Outcomes for veterans. Veterans, not victims, is my favorite saying. We're not victims. We don't come back sorry, asking for handouts. We come back wanting a new mission in life and wanting to be empowered to continue to serve our country and long.
He said no handouts, but I bet he get that food stipend too, and he take it. Huh? You think he gives up that meal stipend and all the perks that come with his jobs? So why can't we get what we deserve? And don't fool yourself. Don't think he ain't getting no VA disability. How many you want to guarantee? Because he said somewhere that he was injured too. Got Purple Heart. You think he turning down any money? Any of these elite military members? And why they don't ever shout out the Navy? All these people that went in the Navy, which is the second branch of the military that was created, that gave us sea power, huh? Come on now. But they everything but a sailor. Brother Charleston says ship make better bops. Maybe, Don't say Navy, because all sailors only drink alcohol, fight in bars. And I'm sure, oh, so you telling me some of these people will stereotype military members. Yes, indeed. Look at you a certain way. You come back looking for a handout. Who told him that? How many times do you think he hung out with the average sailor? Talk to me now.
Law enforcement and government service, even in entrepreneurs.
Now hear that.
Even in entrepreneurs.
Listen to this dude. Like when we got out that it was easy. You just could pop into a job. That wasn't always the case. Listen to this here.
Empowered to continue to serve our country and law enforcement and government service, even in entrepreneurs. We want our veterans to come home and be empowered.
So were you able to pop right into a job when you got here? Were you able to pop into a well-paying job as soon as you got out the military? Some of you may have. I was not. Huh? If you had a good job when you got out, you can say yes. He said you pop right into becoming your own business person. I say no, I wasn't able to. I come out, I struggled. As long as I use veteran on my when I submitted my DD-214, because you know you have to do that by law, I wasn't getting no jobs. I had to stop letting them know I was a veteran, because it had just happened because of Desert Storm. They thought I was gonna come up and I guess shoot up the place or something, you know. Now, Kosi say I didn't. Betty Bob said she didn't. H-Town say he didn't. I'm talking about myself in third person. Look what Betty Bob say. H-Town, that is such a complete lie. She didn't just call it a lie. She said, Sister Betty Bob said that is a complete lie. My sister Betty Bobs, you are a female veteran. You cannot speak because you ain't on tier 1. None of us on tier 1 in here that I know of. You have to be special forces. He is special forces. Even though he's young enough to be some of y'all youngin' that your child or grandchild, he's telling you what it is. Because he know more than you. 40 years old, right? Born in 1985. Come on now. Charles say, no, I had to get certified on my way. Come on now. Jaliver said it took me 2 years to get my good job. Wow. Fam, do you understand the struggle? The struggle is real, family. For veterans, they supposed to be taking care of us on the way transitioning out of the military. Jay, me also. You understand? Now, he says easy. Hold on now, y'all. I'm starting to have problems with y'all. Even Mr. Sleethy is lying or you lying. And this man is a member of the Special Forces, a pilot, and all that good gun-ho stuff. Now, hold on. He ain't regular Navy. He's Navy SEAL. He's graduated from the Naval Academy. Wait a minute. Who I'm going to believe? Him or my lying eyes?
Service, even in entrepreneurs. We want our veterans,
I want you to
law enforcement and government mission and life, and wanted to be empowered to continue to serve our country and law enforcement and government service, even in entrepreneurs. We want our veterans to come home and be empowered, not treated like victims. But sometimes they need that help to do so.
He gonna give us that help. He gonna give us the tough love that we need. See, H-Town is making the connection, and other channels are doing it also. So shout out to Sia Dib. Shout out also to others. What's his name? Veteran Info Tap. Well, is it HQ? Raider HQ? Thank you to him. I didn't realize my memory bad, so thank you for all that you do and that, because I remember now. I'm subscribed to him. Very solid. Glad you're doing them videos again. Now listen, and if you haven't went over there, remember I showed him his logo, his site. Go over there and subscribe to him, because he's putting out good information. Because I'm assuming he used to be a Raider, because he understands things in a way that we don't. especially about them taking our 100% away or calling us in for reevaluation. Please go over there. He has some solid information. Always has. Betty Bob says he is a liar. I had an officer who was in my Cisco program in college. He was a white officer with a English degree. He had an English degree, but he needed to be able to read. I guess he wanted to read to the enemy. Now listen, Betty say, it took me 3 years to get my international flight attendant job. 3 years. He said you should be able to get them jobs easy. Now, family, y'all stop trying to outshine our senator here. Now, listen. Brother Charleston says, and when I went through hard times, only could get security work. Same here. I had to do security at Sears as a veteran, night security guard. I did night security too at Academy and Sears. I did the night at Academy Warehouse. Family, they don't know what we go through. We had to get it up out the mud, but apparently we don't work as hard as he do. That's the problem. I might have to respect him. Or we just lazy. He need us. This young man is a good what? So he born in 85. He's good, about 17, 18 years younger than me. But he gonna give us a push? Who waiting for your push from this young man? Huh? I call him young man.
And I'd welcome your thoughts specifically. I think Dr. Cade related to specifically how does our incentive system within disability claims, how's our incentive system within the transition process? Are we incentivizing veterans to succeed?
So he wants to refer to one of the most horrible, idiotic people there is, Lieutenant Colonel Gade. He is the expert. And they getting him in, they gonna help him get to Congress. And when he get there, all your benefits are in jeopardy. You heard me say all y'all, mine too, huh? Now, J. Oliver say, he got the Purple Heart under questionable circumstances. Yeah, some people get paper cuts. I need to know more about that. I wasn't trying to get no Purple Heart. I ducked. Call me a coward if you want to. I don't need my head blown off. Huh? I don't think it's no honor in getting shot. I'm telling you. They were shooting AK-47s. I know because I saw them on the ground outside. I didn't touch none of them because sometimes they would booby trap them. Did you hear what I just said? One of our armory guys, we didn't know he was down there. They, in the sand, they would build these kind of rooms under the dunes. And he was down there and he stepped on an anti-personnel mine and it took his leg off up to his knee. We didn't know he was down there. And he bled out before he could be found. Yeah, you understand? This is something else. So, yeah. Betty say, I was housekeeping in a hotel and cleaning the movie theaters from 11 to 5 a.m. and cleaning offices. He said, you supposed to be an entrepreneur. That's an entrepreneur. I did janitorial work. I did it all. While I was going to college, I was janitor at the college. Did you hear what I just said? Now listen, at the airport, UPS gate, at Christmas, a truck driver threw 2 locked bags of cash and me, and I screamed on walkie-talkie, help to Big Boss. Come on now, the danger and the sacrifices. Let's talk about it. He say he don't understand that because he's up there where they open doors for him because he has the VIP pass. What's the VIP pass? I went to the Naval Academy. What's the VIP pass? See, a sailor is not the VIP code word or pass. The pass is I went to the Naval Academy. I'm a member of Special Forces. I'm a member of the Navy SEALs. I'm a pilot. He's saying you should be able to work hard and do what he do. Now, listen, H-Town, I was an administrative in the Navy, see what type of job I could only get. I hear you. But he maybe he don't understand this.
At the end of that process, or instead are we driving them into a cul-de-sac of dependence? Because
he said a cul-de-sac of dependence. Did you hear that? Dependence. Cul-de-sac of dependence. Our disability and the treatment of our disability is a cul-de-sac of dependency. You know, that sounds like, what that sound like, fam? That almost sounds like he calling us something. Huh? Remember what I showed you earlier? Sound like you see them drugs, that we gonna be drug addicts and we have to go cold turkey. We just saw where our sister had withdrawals one of our followers or one of our subscribers here, one of our family. Dependency, that's an insensitive term to use, sir, with the stuff we go to. I need my mental health medication because I know what could happen if I'm in a bad place. Huh? Am I wrong for being honest? Should I be ashamed of that? He say, not a victim. We are not I'm not a victim. Huh? I'm a veteran. So you're going to say that to a female veteran that's been MST'd? Excuse me? Would he say that to her or to him? That's been, because most of the people that get violated are men in the military. Did you know that? But a larger weight for females, per percentage. Now, listen to what Jay Oliver say. Man, he said it was questionable about that Purple Heart he got. He said, now listen, Jay Oliver says, he said his SEAL team member shot him and concealed it, but later said at the state park job, he shot himself and got a fine for it. Oh, God. Later was awarded a Purple Heart for it after some hocus pocus. Hold on. Did y'all hear that? Man, these guys come, all of them that come talking like this have some kind of dirt on them. You can't sling mud on me without some being on you because you miring in the dirt. Did you hear that? Let's read what Jay Oliver said again. He said his SEAL team member shot him. So why would you get a Purple Heart for being shot by your team member? And concealed it. Y'all on the same team, dude. But later said, and if he, hold on, who concealed it? His SEAL team member or him? When he got shot, he didn't tell who shot him? This is getting, are you starting to notice these exaggerations and lies? Remember we told you about Chris Kyle being up the top of the Superdome, sniping down black people? Over 30 he killed at the Superdome during Hurricane Katrina. All of them got these war stories. But I thought these are super soldiers. Now, and concealed it, but later said at a state park job, he shot himself and got a fine for it. Wow, he shot himself at a state park, or he said he shot himself in the military. Man, this is crazy. Later was awarded Purple Heart for it after some hocus pocus. That's something. Then Charleston say, Jay Oliver, Twilight Zone stuff. Let's get back to it, fam. Let's get back to it. So they want to change the chapter from disabled veteran to working, full-time working member of society when we already work anyway. That ain't the goal, is to get us working because many work already. The goal is to get us off VA disability compensation because you're not a victim. You going to if you're going to lie, lie. He say professional veteran. Lie like a woman. He say he don't want you to be a professional veteran. But he is a professional, Navy SEAL, former Navy SEAL. These guys, him, Sean Ryan, say former Navy SEAL. Well, if you're not a Navy SEAL no more, why you talking about you're a former Navy SEAL? Because there's some benefits that come with having that distinction. So he want to have a distinction, but he don't want us to have one. Shipmate Betty. And we're going to stop there with that one. We're going to go to the next one. Family, you see how this the man he wants to talk. This who Tuberville wants to talk. They want these people that's trashing our benefits. They laughing. That's trashing our benefits, fam. Huh? What's that all about? So we got another one to show you on our partner here. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Now this one we're gonna kind of do the little bit of the beginning, and we're gonna skip forward because now he's in a more casual setting, and he gonna tell you how he really feel. He got his little spoof haircut, surfer haircut, or whatever that is. He around all these bad boys, you know what I'm saying? Walking around with muscles and hanging out in airplane hangars, and you know they tough and we weak. I mean, I feel so intimidated. Now, let us get to that next one. We're gonna bring to it. This is the real story. Now they say this is a trip, not the real story. Now, and this individual, and I'm letting it go through family fair use because you know how it's gonna happen. Now, this was 2 weeks ago. Fair use, fair use. This is supposedly 2 weeks ago. Now, I want you to see this though. Look at this. This gentleman, or this group of gentlemen, they have the unsubscribed clips. 180 subscribers, but they only had 67 likes on this video. What does that say? What does that say to you? Oh, there she go. She say, I need to clutch up on my pearls. What about Gay's invisible pearls? You're a mess. And they only have 2,100 views. I've gotten 2,000 views on small clips. I've got 50-some thousand. I've gotten 6,000 on certain ones, you know. Yeah. I have at least 20 videos that's over 1,000 views. But how somebody would, and I got only what, about 2.2 subscribers? He got 180,000 and only got 67 likes. So I thought when you are a super soldier, the likes, everybody's not feeling this arrogancy. Let's talk. Listen to this man. Look what's on his shirt. Weaponized autism. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt here.
I was about 8. He was a Korean War sky raider, which Well, so I grew up flying. My neighbor growing up was a Navy pilot, so he started teaching me how to fly when I was about 8. He was a Korean War Sky Raider, which most people don't know about the Sky Raider. Everyone
How many of y'all had the benefit of having airplanes around where you had people teaching you how to fly?
knows they're World War II war birds, and then they know the next generation, like the plane behind us here, the F-5, the F-14s, all that. But the Sky Raider was part of this kind of interim era of planes, and it was like the A-10 of its era. And for those of us who fought, in GWAT, the A-10 was the ultimate close air support weapon.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You hear what he just said? That's a lie. And I'm going to tell you why it is. Not for the reason he think. For somebody that's supposed to be a pilot, for somebody that's supposed to have been in combat, somebody, I'm assuming in some type of desert combat that deals with grenade, what do you call it? What do you call them? Them generators. What do you call it? Not fog. What they call them? The thing that generates smoke. Only paper planes. No, he not. Let me tell y'all something. I got to break it down to y'all. Can H-Town break it down? I need to be honest with you here. Let me tell you. Listen what he said about it.
And for those of us who fought, in GWAT, the A-10 was the ultimate close air support weapon.
The ultimate close air support weapon. We did not want A-10 airplanes by us. They are tank busters. They are armor killers. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I explained this to y'all before. I ain't trying. Look, God, I ain't stop it. I was so upset. Give me a second here. And I want somebody to prove me to be a liar. Okay, that's why I don't like them lying. I don't really like talking about comeback because it upsets me because I was mad. I'm pretty nervous because we're dealing with an enemy that's in front of us, but we had to be careful and make sure the A-10s didn't shoot our tanks. The pilot told us he couldn't tell us from the enemy tanks. Do you think that gave me a good feeling that the person that's flying in behind me will light me up and the enemy in front of me will light me up? How can I fight a war on two fronts? Shouldn't I be able to trust the individual in the A-10? You say H-Town, you making that up. You making that up. No, the A-10 pilot came and told us. Of course, after they lit up a tank with a black sergeant in it, it wasn't based on his race, but I knew we heard about it. They shot the tank. They didn't hit him, but there's no seat belts in the tank. He flew up 60 feet in the air. And he came down, and of course, he lost his life. So they came to us and told us to put these life vests. I don't know why we had them over there, but we had them on top of the tank so that they would know who he was from the air. The enemy couldn't see it on the ground, but unless this is what our tanks look like. This is an M1A1 tank. I was on that machine gun to the lower end there. That's where Gates, if you see Gate, he has a 50 cal and I had an M240. Gate would be in the one that hold further up to the top. And he had a fully covered. He could shoot without coming out, but a loader would have to come out and shoot. I would have to come out and shoot. Now you see that little smoke thing down at the bottom on the turret thing right down here in the front. Those little things with holes in it. That's the how we call it, the something smoke grenades. And when you get that smoke around, you can't tell what tank is what tank. So we just knew to shoot the tanks in front of us. And we would be in a formation and talking to each other, but we didn't have communication with those A-10s. So we had to put that vest up on top of the tank. Now, that, in most cases, that wasn't dangerous for us unless the enemy was up on a dune and they could see who we were. Because if you ever watched that movie with Denzel Washington, Courage Under Fire, he couldn't tell who was who, so he had his people turn the lights on. That's the last thing we want to do is turn the lights on, but his own people were facing him. But he had already shot his captain by accident. Friendly fire, I told you in that war, These guys never talks about friendly fire. Remember, he says friend and one shot him, right? A lot of them trigger happy people. Huh? Now, H-Town told you. Exactly, Charleston. Shipmate Betty Bob's got my sailor tap shoes on also. Say only paper planes. So I'm telling you, man, this guy talking. Now I'm going to move it up here. Give me a second, fam. And we're going to move it up here. Give me a second. And now this is when he's going to start talking about veterans. I want you to have that part, though. Now, do not get upset. Take your blood pressure medicine. Do your woosah techniques. Now, they're going to ask him about people being angry at him on the way he speaks of veterans and their disabilities and their service, and particularly talking about. Give me a second. Waiting for the commercial to pass. All right, here we go, family. Had to make sure everything was right. Now let's get to it. Let me know if you can hear it again.
It was wild watching, being on our side, which we don't deal with politics, but seeing what Brandon went through on just jokes, and then how the media would just be like, nope, dude hates veterans, as he sits next to veterans in a veteran podcast to raise money.
Next to
you sit next to certain veterans, all of them non-black, all of them no women there, because they only see certain people as veterans. You know, they see the rest of us, we shouldn't be professional veterans. I thought this same guy in the white shirt said that we shouldn't identify as veterans. That it's not, but he let the guy in the green shirt say, we are veterans. No, they don't consider themselves veterans. He ain't say nothing about him calling himself a veteran. He say that is not a profession. Well, that guy in the green shirt just said he a veteran, so is that his profession? Now listen to what Jay Oliver said. Donald Rumsfeld, we got to war with the army we have. Preparation for war in that country with that type of equipment needed more planning. Yeah, and I don't know with Rumsfeld, what war was that? Because I don't know if that was the first Gulf War. Let me tell you how unprepared they were. I fought in Desert Storm, walked around the desert in a green uniform the whole time from January 1st, 1991 to May the 1st, 1991, almost 5 months. And May the 1st, they gave us the uniform for the cameras. They gave us brown uniforms. And I'm like, hold on, you're going to give us the brown camo now? And we out here got sniped and we were sitting ducks. Now for the cameras and us coming back home, you want us to look good? I didn't know what no brown boots were. I'm sure some of the infantry may have had them, but in the tanks, they felt like we didn't need it. We didn't stay in the tank all day. That's my little gripe. I apologize. Let's talk. Let's hear what Stevie has to say about veterans, y'all veterans when y'all got out.
Purple Heart recipient. And then 3 other veterans beside him. It was like,
so just because you're a Purple Heart recipient, that make you something. Remember, if they had the Purple Heart back then, Benedict Arnold would got it, right? Huh? Because he got injured twice. He would have 2 Purple Hearts. Remember, Lieutenant Colonel Gay got 2 Purple Hearts. Do that has anything to do with character? Yeah, I'm a veteran. Remember, Lieutenant Colonel Gay is a veteran. Dakota Meyer is a veteran.
No, he hates veterans. He hates veterans.
I made a comment at a veterans town hall, as also a Purple Heart recipient, and I said, hey, as veterans, because
you see how they keep talking about we don't need to talk. Okay, if you're not, we can't be professional veterans. They can't be professional Purple Heart recipients. They can't be professional Medal of Honor winners. They can't be professional former Navy SEALs. Get on with your life, but they don't. Now, I like this one here. Testosterone beefcake session. Oh, Costa, Dr. Charleston.
I'm sick and tired of the veteran victim culture. You know, they come home and they're like, oh my God, give me a blanket. I mean, like, listen, like we all volunteered. We're all volunteer force. And we're veterans, not victims.
You're a veteran, not a victim. He said he's not going to give you no blanket when you get back home. Huh? Even though it's questionable about his Purple Heart. Huh? He sure was complaining, trying to get that Purple Heart, wasn't it? But he wasn't a victim.
So when we come back, there are certain things that we need and we earned and we deserve. Yes.
He say we veterans, not victims. Then he say we shouldn't be professional veterans. Which is it? This dude is all over the place.
That does not include all of the above, whatever the fuck I want forever, free shit, you know, emotional support dogs at every street corner, blankets wrapped around me, a free job, candy, you know, Halloween costumes, and a free car. All right.
So he don't want poor veterans to get nothing. All right? That's welfare. Free. Not your sacrifice, family. He's saying that VA disability, the housing allowance, all these clothing allowance, free. Because he get all his stuff. You think he worked for all that? He got it because of his position. Come on now, family. Let me tell you something. You know what he got it because of? He got it because of his VIP status. That's right. What's the VIP status? If you what? You're a Medal of Honor winner. You VIP status. If you use your position to down the average veteran, we might give you VIP status. You're Purple Heart recipient, VIP status. Huh? Come on now. You were officer in the military, VIP status. Combat veteran, huh? VIP status. Come on now, man. Let's talk about it. Let me see. Oh, there you go. H-Town gave this to you 8 months ago. Was I lying that they put special forces on the top? Before all this came out, didn't H-Town tooting his own horn right now, but didn't I tell you that they were ranking veterans and the combat veteran at the very bottom? Before they came out, I knew they moves because I know how they was, the little slick comments. I knew eventually, remember what happened in Germany. First, they talked about them privately, the people that they went to attack. Then they openly said something. Then they went to eliminate them. That's what they're doing with us. They talked about us quietly for a long time. Now they're talking publicly. Now they're going to eliminate our benefits. Huh? Did you hear what he said about a service dog? Wow. Not the service dog. This man is heartless. These guys need to get a hotel room, huh? They probably got one. Hold on, let's go. I missed that. I heard it earlier. Let's see. Listen to this man. See how general he get? What the F I want forever. This is man that wasn't, he was what? He was younger than my sister. When I joined the military, he wasn't even, he was 3 years old. You understand? When I went to Desert Storm, he was in pre-K. But because he talked to all these guys that look like him and this Korean War veteran let him fly his plane, he get to talk down to us. Now listen, he said all this S and all this. That's how he refers to our benefits that we've earned as S. This is a sitting Congress member of Congress talking like this. Emotional stress dogs at every corner. How insensitive is that statement? Halloween costume. Look at the guy next to him saying, that's him saying that. Nah, dude, you platforming him. You a sucker too. You want to roll. He looked like he a white Latina too. And they be wanting to fit in heavy. Now, don't point at him. You got to go back around your family, your friends, and answer why you ain't saying nothing about it. Say, get a effing job. That's what he said. When you get out, y'all need to get a effing job. Oh, Lord. Such ruthless language from a member of Congress. Can you imagine what, if he talks like this about us openly, can you imagine what he says about us when he's in these Senate hearings and to some of his other fellow Congress people that agree with him? All right, say, M.G. Smith say, H-Town, good evening and veteran family. And J. Oliver say, hi, M.G. Smith. You can bet he used his combat service #1 in election. Wow. Yeah, because he feel like the only true veterans are combat veterans. When a lot of times he might have got trained by a person that wasn't in combat, that taught him everything he know. A lot of times, I'm being honest with you, when we were in the combat, we kind of damaged goods, whatever, and I had to get out because I was going to end up punching an officer or something. Because once you get back to a regular unit, I can't listen to dumb talk because I already know, and I already screwed me up. I knew it was time for me to get out, man, because I was going to do something. And I didn't want to mess up my whole life. Because I knew with some stuff they telling me. I said, that don't work. Get an effing job. Get a mission. That deployed to combat. You hypocrite. It's suspect how you got your Purple Heart. We don't know. That deployed to combat. Well, guess who get the stamp that you're a combat veteran? Remember, there were generals who flew into a war zone, took a dump, and left and gave themselves a combat medal. The only time they spent that was in the toilet. Who get to choose who gets these medals? People like him, people that he's a part of that VIP club. So they get to credentialize people. They say, hello, Betty, everybody speaking. He said, like y'all said earlier, if you need insoles, that means they can't afford them. Go to Foot Locker. But if it's for a service-connected disability, why do I have to go to Foot Locker? You get all type of, I'm sure he getting some type, well, he works for the government and got some airplane thing going on. H-Town, brutal tonight. Yeah, because this is a joke. He couldn't talk to me. You think those muscles mean anything to me? I ain't saying he wouldn't whoop me, but I tongue lash him to death. And I have some of my hood boys right next to me. Huh? And don't think I ain't got some moves left. I'm 57. Yeah, these guys back in the day, they wouldn't bust a grape with me. Because I grew up where you get jumped. If you didn't get jumped by 3 or 4 people and didn't know how to fight them, don't tell me about no one person. If you ain't never been jumped, you man, shut up. And wasn't no gangs. Because in the South, we didn't have gangs. We did that when we moved out the South to protect ourselves. No gangs. It was kind of like a gang, I should call it, I guess. It's based on your family and your neighborhood. But no, we didn't have no need for no tags and no things. But yeah, he's somewhere living in a silo. And he only talking to people that agree with what he's saying. Like you say, they need to get a room. Now, if an aircraft touch and go, it can claim it was in theater. That's what I'm talking about. H-Town, I'll be right back. I say, H-Town, I'll be right there helping you. Yes. Yeah. See, I don't know karate, but I know crazy. Yeah, man, you don't get to talk. He couldn't hold no conversation with me. He wouldn't hold no conversation with me. Now we got a victim culture. They always using this as culture. What about all these young men, these young white men shooting up these schools? Is that a culture? You say rap culture is violent, right? Our culture, it's our culture, it's the violent. When rap started off, it was happy rap. Now it evolved some of it to something else. And many of the people that singing it ain't Black American, they Caribbean or something else. 21 Savage is from Haiti. That other guy, he's from England. He been there since he was 10 years old. That's why they mumble, because they try to act like our culture, they not us. So you sitting here talking about it's a culture. What's your culture, partner? Now listen. Charleston say, I got jumped on Liberty in Boston, Massachusetts, in an area called Combat Zone. Does that make me a combat veteran? Yeah, you're a combat veteran. Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you something. I saw that movie to town. The white folks live in projects up there, real projects. I'm like, wow, they got hoods up there. I don't want to hang up there. You ever watch that movie, The Town? These are straight up hood folk from the Massachusetts. No shade on you, Coasty, because I know you grew up in the Bel Air section of Massachusetts. You grew up in the no shade on you, man, because I don't want to get beat up, Coasty. Only if you won, Charleston. Boy, y'all crazy. Y'all were crazy. Coasty said, LOL, Charleston. Man, because you know what? Most of their interest probably came from bar fights anyway. 100%. Betty about to say, Charleston, 100%. Now, that's this guy. Now, who else used that term broken? Do y'all remember who else used that term broken? Let us know if you remember who else used the term broken. And they're always trying to get themselves medals. I wouldn't have run around that battlefield. If I was an idiot, I could have stuck my head up and got a Purple Heart. They probably had to put it in the casket with me. Come on now. Like the movie Cinderella Liberty. I'd have to see that movie. I'd have to see that movie. You need a mission and a career. That's all you need. This is what Tim says. You don't get no free stuff. Because, of course, he don't get no free stuff as a member of Congress, right? You think he turned down the meal stipend? You think he turned down the per diem? If he has an office, a room in his Congress office that he can stay in and sleep, like a hotel room, you think he turned down that per diem for housing and rent? You think he turned down that free stuff that not only with the food stipend do it get it tax-free, they can also claim that tax-free money on their taxes as a deductible, money they didn't even earn. Oh, I hate that one. You know, people say, I can't be racist. My best friend is black. Boy, if I hear another, I'm married to a combat veteran. I don't dislike people in the Navy. I was in the Navy. Oh, he would never say that, would he? Huh? Could you imagine when they called Benedict on, if they would have caught him, they didn't catch him. That little snake slid out of him and went to England. If they would have caught him, he said, I can't be a traitor. I'm the greatest war hero in this country. The two are mutually exclusive. You could have been the greatest war hero in the country, but you defected and became the worst coward we ever had. I say you're a coward because he left his wife and child here and he got on the ship and went to England. Huh? See, you got to watch these people that have that Rambo mentality. They be some of the worst cowards. There was a movie, Dead Presidents, and it was about these black Vietnam soldiers. And one of the ones that was, it was mostly black and their lieutenant was white. And one of them, they all come from the same area. He was so gun-ho and wanted to carry around people's, dome in his bag. But when he come back, when it was time for them to rob a bank, he froze. The same one that was gun-ho and crazy and doing weird stuff and all this here. Because they over-exaggerate themselves because of fear. Just say you're afraid. When I was in the war at times, I was afraid. Would he call me a coward? Maybe. So we as veterans, only time he want to refer to himself as a veteran is when he's trying to chastise us. All these intangible garbage. You see, he's trying to convince himself. He's looking at everybody. This guy looking down, but you mud on you because you ain't saying nothing about it. All y'all all buffed and steroid up. Huh? Hypothetically speaking. Yeah, so he said we shouldn't be professional veterans, but he dropped not that just that he's a combat veteran, but his wife is a combat veteran several times. So it ain't enough just to be a veteran. You got to be a combat veteran. You got to be a Navy SEAL, a graduate of. And he brought up earlier, I met my wife. She picked me off a list at the Naval Academy and all this garbage. Yeah, they want that new generation to step in and serve and get rid of our benefits and not help the other veterans that are their age and coming after them. We're gonna fight to get this garbage out of Congress. Garbage. You ain't nothing but garbage, dude. I could talk to him for a good 3 to 5 minutes, find out what kind of combat service he was in. Huh? You know, ain't nobody ever come up here and talk about H-Town wasn't in combat. Please tell me. And I don't brag about the stuff because it don't matter. I'm still broke. Am I a bad person for saying I'm broken? That stuff broke me, man. It broke me kind of when I got back, but most of my platoon got broke. They did their job over there, those of us that came back. This guy, and he goes after service dogs, emotional support dogs. He said, I see one on every corner. This is the guy, man. We have 15 likes and 13 watching. Family, what y'all think about this mess here? What y'all think of? Oh, I supposed to have it. Let me pull myself up. Y'all don't supposed to see that. And as I said, he's sitting here putting veterans in categories. Anybody that you see, we need to stop allowing these people to get office by claiming military service. We need to use these statements when he was incensed about somebody having an emotional support dog. Some of these veterans are homeless with their emotional support dog. Some of them have nobody else to talk to. They feel isolated. How insensitive. We have 15 likes and 13 watching. Thank y'all, family. What he is garbage. I said it. He called us that. This is creating a hostile environment for veterans. I believe Congress and their cronies are creating a hostile environment for us to get our benefits, for us to even be a veteran in this country. It's becoming a bad word. Attitude is everything, family. What do y'all think of his attitude? What if you could describe his attitude in a few words? This Tim guy. This Tim guy. What how would you describe him? Attitude is everything. He used his, not just as a veteran, combat veteran, he think he's special. It ain't been no draft. So it like we had a choice. When I went to combat, I didn't have a choice. You know, it ain't like some people signed up to go overseas. I don't think I would have done that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Heck no. Heck no. Now they say there is a movie to reduce, there's a move to reduce veterans benefits. Yes, it is. Now, I bet he doesn't talk to Senator Mom, Tammy Duckworth. I bet he doesn't. She came on right after him. We about to go here. He is full of she used his name on that one. I don't want to say it. MG Smith out loud. H-Town, he thinks he's a one-man army. He did it all himself. I've seen these guys in combat zones. They're nothing to write home about. I don't care what, because if he was in a plane at first, it took a whole flight crew, whoever, Charleston them know about being on that flight deck. He didn't do nothing by himself. It was a whole team working day and night to make sure them planes came in safely and left safely and were serviced properly. He was this mechanic too. He did all the mechanic work too. Betty Bob say, the man is so full of lies. If you dig further, you find so many holes in his entire life. I want to, like we did with the other one, I want y'all to find, I think it's Jay Oliver. Jay Oliver, if you find something, or you tell him about that, how he got that Purple Heart, anybody find out any discrepancies behind that, let me know, because we're going to bring it out. Just like we exposed Dakota Meyer, he was what? He was getting that $100,000. That's why he put us through us on the bus. Why are all these Medal of Honor winners, all of the, just one Medal of Honor winner that I know of, Dakota Meyer, all these special forces people throwing us under the bus. Attitude is everything. What type of attitude does this man have? Do you think he's arrogant? Do you think he feels like he's superior? H-Town, you can change everything. And yes, my goal is attitude. I love my fellow veterans. Oh, there go our sister right there. Sister Tammy Duckworth. She cooked. Did our sister cook? She cooked. Oh, Lord. You know what, fam? I got to make sure I find it now because I went to this one. It's so far up. Let me see. Oh, Lord, family. It's going to take me a second to find it so y'all can chat and say, Kookie. And any Internet, yes. Give me a chance here, family. I gotta find this. So, family, what do y'all think of this gentleman? What do you think it would take to get him out of office and people that think like him, that's attacking veterans, but saying, I don't got no problem with veterans. Then the next words out of his mouth is horrible, filthy things about us, talking about our support dogs. Yeah, you walk around with a blanket on you and all this here. Man, can you imagine? Pretty much criticizing the homeless, right? Yes, indeed. Let me see, can I go back to this one? Oh, there you go. I found it. Yeah, I had it on here. So, family, we got it. Unfortunately, right before Senator Duckworth speaks, this dude had something to say, right? But it's something interesting. Remember what Gage said, that he didn't have a chance to respond to Senator Duckworth? Yes, he did. She asked questions, and that coward said nothing. And you're going to see it. 129. Okay, fam, let's see what we got here. Okay, it's going to be fair use, family. This is for educational and informative purposes only. We appreciate you. Now we're going to get into, now we're going to end on a positive note. Now you're going to see what it means to rep veterans as a veteran. Shane, not someone walking around talking about all her Purple Hearts, even though she have them. Not someone talking about being a special force member or being in a helicopter pilot, which she was, but she shows love for the regular veteran. And that means so much to me. Thank God for her. Huh? When ain't none of these men, saying nothing. She stood, fam. Fair use, fair use. Oh, Ryan Goloski, he was a little wishy-washy. Now let's get to it.
Difference between the integration back into employment versus compensation.
Well, thank you for being here. We're at the end of our nation's longest war.
That's the guy we just saw, Tim. You want to say another word? Smell like, you know what, manure. But that's Mr. Tim now.
And we may potentially.
That we just got through hearing for him talking horrible. They got him in a position of authority to mess up our benefits. We got to get them out of office. The next time somebody say they are a veteran and combat vet, we need to check their paperwork, especially if they start hollering about combat. Why you distinguish yourself from the regular veteran? My spouse is a combat veteran. My dog is a combat dog. It is
be seeing the start of another war soon. So the work you're doing is going to be absolutely critical. Veterans, not victims. Outcomes over process. Patience over bureaucracy. Thank you.
Sir Sheehy, thank you.
Sheehy is name.
Sir Duckworth.
Now listen to Senator Duckworth, Tammy Duckworth talk. Listen how she expresses our feelings. And this is when you know you're dealing with a true veteran.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
In my opinion, I ain't trying to be biased because it really means a lot to me for somebody to stand up. But you give your opinion on how you feel. Did she hit the right points?
Chairman, I have to say I must express disappointment in the decision to convene a legislative hearing that amplifies the Washington Post's misleading and flawed attack against the VA disability benefit system.
Bam! She's the only one that said it. Why is she the only one that said they convened a meeting to back up what the Washington Post said from? She kind of goes into Jeff Bezos, but he get federal grants too. So he torn the water. So 9/11 was a war. Is it over has active duty still giving their lives in 2025 Syria from ISIS? Yes, indeed. Come on now, it's not over. People still losing their life. Now listen, she's telling nobody's standing up, but she's standing up. Listen.
Especially by inviting a witness who supports those sentiments and adding insult to injury. This effort to falsely depict our nation's disabled veterans as a group of dishonest fraudsters and cheaters originates from a paper that is owned by a multi-billionaire whose net worth exceeds by tens of billions of dollars the total amount the United States government spends on disability compensation.
She's saying Jeff Bezos get tens and billions of dollars more than what we get as our VA disability. And I went over the numbers. Go back and watch our video on how much they spend on a monthly basis, and you can calculate a yearly basis from there. I went down to the last veteran. I'm the only one did that. 2024, because 2025 is not over. She's pointing out the contradictions.
To over 6 million disabled veterans in any given year. Look, nobody's denying the unfortunate reality that a small number of veterans exist who will dishonor their own service and that of their fellow veterans by defrauding the VA. These individuals can and should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. If we want to...
I agree with that. Do you agree with what she said? Let us know. I agree with that.
Enhance
that they should be prosecuted as people doing wrong.
Deterrence, we should strengthen enforcement resources to increase the rates of criminal investigations, prosecutions, and convictions of these fraudsters. The mistake we...
So she say, go after the fraudsters. Let's see what M.G. Smith said. These rich, low lies think their money, they can say anything they want because they feel like they're insulated. But they can be touched economically if we don't vote them in. There's a sad excuse of a human being. Yes, there's a sad excuse of a human. And not talking about Senator Duckworth, talking about these other ones, this Tim guy and all these garbage talkers.
We must avoid is allowing a minority of criminals to dictate the redesign of the VA disability benefit system into a bureaucratic black box that is more frustrating and less fair and will leave more veterans waiting and dying, waiting to get their benefits that they've earned.
Who else brought up the fact that when they delay these claims and deny them, that more and more veterans die? And a family don't know they can substitute into the claim. Or there may not be a family left for that veteran to substitute into the claim. This is horrible. Thank you.
Since we met many years ago at Walter Reed, I've been disappointed, Colonel Gade, in...
So she met him. She brought it up. That's why he didn't want to talk about it. And you watch it, look at his face when she's talking about him and to him. Listen.
In watching your journey, you and I were there together. We suffered together, we recovered together. But I have to say, I've been disappointed in watching your journey to becoming one of the leading critics of the entire concept of disability compensation for disabled veterans. And I do feel that you believe that you're simply offering our fellow disabled veterans some tough love that everyone else is too afraid to give to inspire them to achieve the success that you've been so very fortunate to earn. However, your rhetoric...
Yeah, his success is based on being a disabled veteran on business and getting federal set-asides and contracts in the same state as Senator Tuberville. His company is in there. What do you think about that? Hypocrites, I say. And they ain't going to pull that small-time stuff over on me. Now, listen to Brother Charleston. Most Congress... sad excuse as they start the action, but don't want to finish or pay. No. Tammy Duckworth would make an excellent secretary of the VA. I never thought about that. If you want Senator Tammy Duckworth to be what you think you would like her to be, the secretary of the VA, put Tammy in the chat. And that's not to disrespect her as a senator. Not to just put Tammy in the chat. It just, I think her name is cool. For Senator, if you want Senator Duckworth, Tammy Duckworth, you think she would make an excellent Secretary of the VA, put Tammy in the chat. Betty Bob say Tammy. Huh? Put Tammy in the chat. H-Town put Tammy, but it's up to you. You may not agree with any of her other beliefs. You don't have to vote for, I'm just saying those that do. Do you think she would make an excellent VA secretary? Would that be a conflict of interest because she's a disabled veteran? Would that be a conflict of interest? Now, lots, M.G. Smith, I agree, yes. J. Oliver say, we suffer together. Tammy Duckworth, yeah. She told him. And yeah, and he went another way, though. Betty, so she don't think like him. She wasn't saying people were telling me, some old lady told me how easy it is to get benefits, just sign it. But he got his benefits, didn't he? Coasty say Tammy. J. Oliver say Tammy. Charleston say Secretary of the VA is appointed by President. Tammy won't get it. She's a Democrat. But she would be good at it. Dougie is a veteran, that's true. But she would be good at it, though. You think he would consider it? He would go past political stuff. She knows what we're going to. Give her a chance. And her whole history in the Senate has shown her respect for veterans. She don't walk around as a victim. I think she's a double amputee. She's in a wheelchair. But she makes it happen. Come on, man. Give her a chance. Now, no, she would be appointed by the next administration. I think she would accept the position. That is such a powerful thing y'all saying here. Tammy. Betty Boss, Tammy is not a white male. No, she's not. But I thought it was the service. Wouldn't she be considered a combat veteran, though? Now, hold on now. Come on. H-Town, they get sick of me talking about race. Hold on. Because I assume she's of some either Asian or Native American or something. But she's a female. Let's say she is white. I thought they said it's based on being combat veterans. I thought that's all they saying, combat veteran. She's a combat veteran. Trump won't do it. J. Oliver, correct, sad, yeah. He won't do it. Even though she might be qualified for the job, at least give her a chance.
Particularly in downplaying the severity of the reality of the invisible wounds of war, runs the real risk of doing more harm than good.
Talking about him, Gabe, not talking because he downplays PTSD and other mental health conditions, anything that you can't see. So that's what I like about her. She gets it. As a veteran, she gets it. She know what we feel and she's expressing it. Are there any other member of Congress that talk and think like her that we can vote them in? Even though Hakeem Jeffries talk like that, I don't like him. Yeah, I know I don't like him. I don't like Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah, he talked like he gonna help us. But if I had look, I should bring it up. Yeah, he does. And that other one, the Asian Democrat, he cool too. And that's some good Republicans too. But that Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader, I don't like him. So if our benefits come and I had to shake his hand for us to get blessed, I had to put bleach on it after I get through. I do it if it's gonna help us. I don't like him. Do I have a real reason? I don't know. I don't feel right now. Politics is politics. I got to put my ego aside, right? Yeah. I ain't like looking at it. 3 strikes, tear me out. Wow. Let's talk about it.
Portraying disabled veterans as a group of takers who will happily never work again for $3,100 per month is incredibly condescending and disrespectful to these heroic Americans. Disabled veterans, like any American, want to work for more than just money.
Now, did you hear that? Guess what, Charleston? You're a hero. Guess what, Betty? You're a hero. Guess what, J. Oliver? You're a hero. Regardless of what, y'all all heroes. On Veteran Day, do they distinguish us based on combat or not? No. We are all heroes. I do not want to be separated from my brothers and sisters because I have to be over there with knuckleheads like them. I don't want to be on that. Can I come to y'all table? Huh? I don't want to go to the kiddie table. Look at me. Look at me. I don't want to be around them. Them dudes, I couldn't hang around them. We're going to be fighting.
They're driven
And all that self-worship, like my brother said earlier, get a room.
by a sense of mission, purpose, and meaning. And your characterization of disabled veterans who accept disability compensation as being moochers who are trapped by the system advances a very damaging stereotype that shames many veterans into foregoing VA benefits at a cost to themselves and their loved ones.
That's Gates' goal. Treating like moocher, because a lot of us didn't go because we was taught that that's like living off the government. That's like welfare. No, the rules and law said you have a right to it. These other guys can't stop saying that they combat veterans. They can't stop saying that they're Medal of Honor winners. They can't stop saying that they're special forces or 20 Purple Hearts, even though it might be suspicious how they got it.
So there's an irony that the VA is being accused of being too generous, too trusting, and too focused on enhancing efficiency for disabled veterans by a paper whose owner is famous for accumulating a vast fortune by adopting a core management principle, obsessive customer focus. So my question for the VS.
Customer focus, meaning trying to see what people want to hear, giving them red meat. And unfortunately, with the Washington Post, we the red meat now. Now listen, McDougal wasn't the past Democrat secretary of the VA, was not a veteran. Oh, interesting. Did not know that. That's interesting.
So leaders on the panel is simple. Do our disabled veterans deserve worse treatment from the United States government?
Do they deserve worse treatment from the United States government? Look what our Senator Tammy Duckworth did. Look at this. I don't know what branch she was in, but I just say soldier. Look what this officer says. Soldier, look what she says. And look them straight in the eye. Do they deserve this type of treatment? Can I play it back? Let's run that beautiful beam footage again. Can I do it? I want to hear that part. Listen to what she said.
At a cost to themselves and their loved ones. So there's an irony that the VA is being accused of being too generous, too trusting, and too focused on enhancing efficiency for disabled veterans by a paper whose owner is famous for accumulating a vast fortune by adopting a core management principle, obsessive customer focus.
That's the Washington Post, and talking about the efficiency, that's talking about Senator Tuberville.
So my question for the VSO leaders on the panel is simple. Do our disabled veterans deserve worse treatment from the United States government?
No, they don't.
No, they do not.
Should Congress require VA to presume that every disabled veteran applying for benefits is guilty of fraud?
They shouldn't because they're not.
Should VA force every disabled veteran to fight through copious amounts of paperwork and push through layer upon layer of code, harsh bureaucracy to prove beyond a reasonable doubt to obtain what are often quite modest disability compensation benefits?
Senator, no.
We must never forget.
Look at Gade over there. Look at Gade playing with his papers. Stop playing with your papers, boy.
That Congress and VA have worked hard for many decades to end an unacceptable status quo where the VA benefit system was hostile, combative, and stunningly inefficient.
Remember when it was hostile, combative, and inefficient? When you went through, was the system hostile, combative, and inefficient? When you went to file for your disability, would you agree with Senator Tammy Duckworth? Was it combative, hostile, and inefficient? Do you agree with her? Say, I do. If you don't, say, I don't. If you agree with her, say, I do. that the system was hostile, combative, and inefficient. The time you went through it may not have been. I don't know. MG Smith said, I do. Jay Oliver said, I do. H-Town said, I do. Betty Bob said, I do. I agree, I do. Jay Oliver said, I do. Then Charles said, we need a song like Minnie the Mooch. Cab Calloway. You remember Cab Calloway? That's the one of my Black American icons. That's where rap music come from. Scatting. That's where we learned to do stuff from our elders. Our parents and grandparents was watching this stuff, and you know, that's how we were introduced, because it was in the house all the time. Hey, I didn't know Minnie the Moocher. So we need a song. Is Gabe mooching with his disabled veteran-owned small business and the government contracts and set-asides? Would that be mooching off the government as a disabled veteran? But he want to get rid of us being disabled veterans?
Larger fear is that our committee indulging in efforts to demonize the VA disability benefit system will lead us to creating a harmful guardrails that do reduce improper payments, but at the cost of scores of eligible disabled veterans giving up and abandoning efforts to secure the benefits they earned when they served our country in uniform. Would any of the witnesses...
Now watch what she asking all of them this question coming up. I don't know if it's this one or the next. Watch how Gabe looks when she asks this question. He looks kind of nervous to me. Tell me how what you see. Yes, Moocher Gabe. So when he try to run for office, we need to get out there and shame him. When the next time this Tim guy, I almost said a wrong word because I don't know how to say his name. Sheedy. I hope I didn't sound, because I ain't trying to make his name derogatory, but you know what I'm saying.
Witnesses testifying on behalf of VSOs like to elaborate on that threat and why criticism of VA trying to instill a culture that seeks the let's get to yes is preferable to a culture that seeks to get to no.
Senator, I will happily take that question if I may. As I said in my remarks and in our submission for the record, we have deliberately worked to make it easier for veterans to access the benefits that they've earned. Those of us who have worn the uniform have seen it, where peers of ours struggle for the care for the diseases or the health conditions that they're suffering with. In addition to Kachikarabad, our organization's advocating for air crews. Congress just passed a study to make sure that air crews, it was signed into law, that we study their toxic exposures.
Okay.
There's a group of veterans, submariners, and the veterans of foreign wars who are speaking very vocally about.
That's one thing I like about the Veteran of Foreign Wars and American Legion. All of them, of course. I don't know as much about DAV. They really be doing things to help us get these programs completed. So we're going to give you an A+ on this one. Can we give them an A+ on this one for Ryan Galusi?
The unique challenges of submarine service and the exposures that they have. Now, make no mistake, we all knew that military service was dangerous, but as we've focused on, when we say honor the contract, it was in our enlistment contracts. It's in there, required to order to serve in combat or other hazardous situations, and then
now, come on now. Now, I like what he said. Come on, he doing his job. He earning that $200,000. Don't you let that get past you. Did it say just combat? Did it say just combat? Listen, I'm gonna have to find that. He says it somewhere in the video. I think it's Article 2 or something. I'm gonna find it in our contract, and I'm gonna show it on here. I'm looking for it in the contract. Now listen, did he say just combat? Now listen to it. Let me see. Now listen what he say here.
Accessing that system as if we're somehow exploiting loopholes and it's an honor system. It's look, it's trying to pit veterans against Americans,
Did I miss it?
other Americans. And it's something that we shouldn't tolerate. Shooters of ours struggle for the care for the diseases, or of our
I'm missing something.
for veterans to access the benefits that they've earned. Those of us who have worn the uniform have seen it, where peers of ours struggle for the care.
I'm too far. Hold on.
As I said in my remarks and in our submission for the record, we have deliberately worked to make it easier for veterans to access the benefits that they've earned.
I'm gonna let this play.
Those of us who have worn the uniform have seen it, where peers of ours struggle for the care for the diseases or the health conditions that they're suffering with. In addition to Kachikarabad, our organization's advocating for air crews. Congress just passed a study to make sure that air crews, it was signed into law.
See, we knew combat was dangerous, but we didn't realize how dangerous just serving in the military is. How many of y'all have known someone to get harmed not too far from you on a ship and on a maneuver that wasn't combat? Who's have known people to lost their lives that wasn't combat? One of the guys I served with, he came back and a Humvee flipped over doing guard duty and he passed away. So who knows somebody to be harmed or severely injured or lost their lives in outside of a combat zone? I do. Put your hand up. Okay. Let me see. MG Smith says, H-Town say yes. MG Smith says yes. That's why he say we knew combat was dangerous, not military service. We didn't know till we got into it that it was just as dangerous.
That we study their toxic exposures. There's a group of veterans, submariners, and the veterans of foreign wars who are speaking very vocally about the unique challenges of submarine service and the exposures that they have. Now, make no mistake, we all knew that military service was dangerous, but as we've focused on when we say honor the contract, it was in our enlistment contract.
Now listen, what's in our enlistment contract, what they can't refute, whether that be Timmy, I'm gonna call him Timmy, or Lieutenant Dan, or that guy Dakota. Listen, what was in the contract. And he's sitting right next to Lieutenant Colonel Gade, retired. Look at that guy sitting there. Look at his face when he says this.
It's in there, required to order to serve in combat or other hazardous situations, and then
look, to serve in combat or other hazardous situations. I want to ask you a question. Do they make a distinction between combat and other hazardous situations in our contract? He's reading it. We're going to go over it. Is there a distinction? Can you get service connected for combat and other hazardous situations that are not in a combat zone? Can you get compensated for both or only for combat situations in the contract? I'm talking about in the contract. You see, Gade is looking down like he don't know what's going on because they only want combat veterans to get it. So Gade know he can't say nothing because he's speaking against the contract that we signed. We didn't know what we signed because many of us signed. I didn't know what was on there. Now listen now, brother. 1980 flight deck saw an airplane take off somebody, decapitate, plane spotted. Yeah. Stuff happens, man. Yeah, it's I wasn't in, I was a baby, but one of my Vietnam veterans, they had a good captain, and he did 2 years over there, and he was going back to the helicopter, but the helicopter was on a hill leaning. So when they was walking away to salute him, the blades, same thing you just said there. And he wasn't in combat at that time. He had already did 2 years of combat. Dangerous stuff happened here.
Entitled to receive pay allowances and other benefits as provided by law and regulation.
Did you
So
hear
to
that?
have a discussion.
I need to get this 135, 51, 135, 51. Now listen to what it says. We got to remember this. This is our juice.
Contract, it was in our enlistment
Listen.
contracts. It's in there. Required to order to serve in combat or other hazardous situations, and then entitled to receive pay allowances and other benefits as provided by law and regulation.
So the law say you can get it whether you in combat or other hazardous situation that may not be related to combat. Right? That's spotted. There's certain benefits should go to his or her family because of what happened, whether it's directly related to combat or not. These people are picking and choose who combat veterans are. They making people combat veterans sometimes. Look at Gabe, sitting there looking dumber than a sack of hair.
So to have a discussion where it's portraying veterans accessing.
What is he saying about the law? You see, he looking forward and looking stupid when Ryan Goloski read that law. He ain't snickering now, is he?
That system as if we're somehow exploiting loopholes and it's an honor system. Look, it's trying to pit veterans against Americans, other Americans. And it's something that we shouldn't tolerate, especially when such a small percentage of the population volunteered for that dangerous job that has occupational hazards that others can just walk away from.
Other people, if you're on a dangerous job, you can walk away from it. Let me ask you something. Charleston, Jay Oliver, I think you were in the Navy too. Betty Bops, Coastie, when you sign your contract on those boats and ships, could you, as sailors, could y'all just walk away? You say, this is too dangerous. I almost lost my life. I saw somebody almost lost their life. You see how he's looking when they talk about the law? Gave it a happy place in Dream. Where are his invisible pearls at? I should be now, yes, I should be saying Betty Boss got me cutting up from last time. Ain't no excuse I did that. Huh? Where they at? We just heard Timmy, the Congressman Timmy, little Timmy we gonna call him, talking about only combat veterans. He supposed to be a congressman. He don't even know that the contract says combat or hazardous situations, you can receive compensation in both, even in training, basic training.
The data is clear, and it's not just data coming from the VA, but from other or not-for-profits that the vast majority of veterans' claims for benefits are truthful and accurate.
She's saying we truthful when we do. Very few veterans put fraudulent information. Most of us don't even want to sign. Listen what Coach say. Nowhere to walk to at sea. Did she say? See, we on the ground. So I can fall to the ground. I might break a bone. They ain't got nowhere to walk. You understand what I'm saying? When that ship that happened back in World War II, I forget which one it was. I had the name a few days ago. I saw it, where all of those sailors perished at sea because there was sharks everywhere. And many of them were unalive, lost their lives. Fam, the enemies hit the ship, a torpedo, but nobody knew that they were there because like a secret mission. And by the time they figured out, I think 2/3 of the people had perished. Now listen to what they say here. Oh man, family, this is what we talk. We almost done. Thank y'all for your incredible patience with us. Coastie say, Coastie, I thought officers could walk on water. Y'all messy. Y'all messy. And I'm laughing at the mess. I'm stirring the confusion. Now listen to what Jay Oliver say. I could run I had to respond and set up, rescue and respond and try to retrieve them. Okay. Now listen to Betty Bob's. H-Town, you pulled out the 1923 mink and drag it like you had drag gay. Like you drag gay. Come on now. I didn't want to do it all in one night. I want the stuff to marinate for a while and go at him and then come back with our sister to show how great a job she did. See, if you go over it all the time at one time, you'll miss it. But I knew he couldn't help himself. I didn't know he would go on a veteran channel, but I knew he was going to go somewhere talking dumb, trying to defend the garbage he said and clean it up, and didn't do a good job of that. M.G. Smith says, there's lots of dangerous career fields. Mine was one of them. I got paid extra for staying in it. Yes, I think you worked like nuclear stuff. But for those in the military, we couldn't just walk away when you was in the military. None of us could just walk away.
Not that they're fraudulent and false. And I think we need to keep that in mind. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Duckworth, thank you. I thank all of our witnesses, and I just highlight for the committee. And
we don't want you highlighting nothing, partner. She said it. Mic drop, mic drop. Fam, what y'all think of that? Did she do a good job, Senator Duckworth? What did she miss? Family, this is what we want you to focus on, not that foolishness. The representative from the Veteran Foreign War said it, that if you are injured or put in harm's way, so not just physically injured, if you're psychologically injured, or if you're exposed to chemicals that have an effect on your biology or your children, you need to file a claim, whether you in combat or in a hazardous, dangerous situation. I'm going to go further. If you saw somebody you know there was a fellow sailor, a fellow soldier, a fellow airman, a fellow what's that other one? Marine. Listen, if you were on that ship when that had happened about that one person, when the plane that happened to them, Charleston, that's what you can use as your triggering event. Apparently, you remember it now. If you were on that ship when it happened, whether you saw it, you was in the area, the stress of it all, come on now, especially if you saw it. Let's talk about it, family. Because I was stressed by people who lost their lives. I didn't see it happen to them, but I was with them. They was a part of me. They was part of the mission. I'm in a tank, so I can't see everybody else getting harmed. But when I saw them harmed afterward, you think that didn't affect me? Let's see. M.G. Smith say, okay, paid him extra. Civilian or vendor, okay. So now dealing with these claims, family, what you need to focus on is not what Gade is saying, not what little Timmy is saying, that we hear from the night, that Congressman little Timmy, well, not him. You understand there are three things that can happen with your claims. They can get denied, deferred, or approved, family. That's what you focused on based on the evidence. So remember, and I want y'all to understand this here. Don't be listening to this hogwash. Focus. Focus, focus, focus. We're just about done. When you're dealing with your claims, if you let's say start with the denial, that means the claim is rejected. Means the claim is not awarded benefits or compensation. It's rejected. Oh, I like that one. I like Tiny Tim. You remember the one who had that little guitar and he could sing his butt off, man. That big old guy. Oh, Tiny Tim. I love Tiny Tim. Now, so that's when you're denied. So you need to know how, see, Lieutenant Colonel Gade is not going to tell you how he got his benefits, so he don't want you to get yours. I'm telling you what an actual denial is. Sometimes people get a deferred claim and they think that's a denial. A deferral, that's in yellow, decision is put on hold while more evidence is gathered or reviewed. They may need more evidence or they may need more insight from the doctor that did your DBQ for your CMP exam or your public DBQ. So always make sure, they might forgot to put their name on there or something like that, or their full credentials. So make sure if you get a public DBQ done, you get it done right, because when it's the CMP exam, you have no control of what the doctor do because they're working directly with the VA. Now, then claim approval. Claim is accepted and claimant receives benefits and compensation with a disability rating. This is what they don't want you to have. They talking and talking about you shouldn't be a victim. A victim to them is somebody receives the proper VA disability benefits they deserve and the money compensation that comes with it. Factors affecting the outcome and wait times, all right, of claims. The complexity of the claim, multiple disabilities, or requiring extensive evidence gathering can take longer time. So if you're filing for more than one thing, you filing for PTSD, right? And you might have sleep apnea as a secondary condition, or you just might be filing primary conditions, 4 or 5 conditions. That could take longer time. Then number 2, evidence availability. We know this is a real problem with veterans that were in Vietnam. Not much evidence. Complete and clear evidence often speeds up decision process. Not always, but you got to stay on top of them. I've seen deny, not so much deny all the time, they'll underrate you. That's why you need to have clear evidence. Say, nah, this evidence have symptoms at the 100% level or whatever percentage you think it has. Third thing, VA workload. How many claims are being processed along with raters training and judgment? Wow. So you got to deal with the workload, how well the rater is trained, and even if they're trained, their judgment. What if you had a Lieutenant Colonel Gade handling your claim? What if you had a Tiny Tim handling your claim? Do you think they would be biased? Now listen, Charleston say, I talked to a doctor about it. He said I handled it okay as happens, as it wasn't combat related. No, you go back and document that and file that. That's a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. No, it don't have to be. I'm glad you said it. Please tell me you've refiled it. I need you to do a statement, my brother. You need to document what happened. Write a letter. Okay, if you need me, send me an email and I'll tell you just what to do. And if I have any advice, share with our brother. Because remember, that doctor don't know the contract you signed. The contract said that you was in a hazardous situation. If you saw something happen to someone else, that's hazardous. Why you think I got PTSD? Saw stuff happening to people and some of the stuff I did to people. But they tell me I got to suck it up and drive on. Let me tell you something, little Timmy, Tiny Tim. I was doing this before you was able to say the word military. Didn't somebody say that before? Am I being egotistical? Now, 1999, I kept report, just found it in August filing. Yes, make sure you have it, and I want you to put your remembrance of that and tell your doctor. If your doctor ain't sensitive to that, get another doctor. Those doctors, that doctor lied, Charleston Zimmerman. Yes, they did. That's why we have this channel. Huh? You see why I had to go over this? You say, why I'm bringing this up in the middle? Because they trying to get our mind off of focusing on our claim. But H-Town going to break it down, and the chat going to break it down further. Did you hear what I said? Family, let me know where you at right now. Do you have a claim that's been denied or you had a claim that's on hold, meaning it's deferred, or has it been approved? Or are you just in the starting of the claim process? Let us know. Has your claim been denied? Is it on hold or approved? If you submitted a claim, or you in the waiting process. When I say on hold, yeah, on hold, okay. Where you at? Denied right now on hold, meaning they working your claim, whether it be deferred. When you say on hold, whether it be deferred or they still working on the claim. Either way, whether it's a deferred claim or they still processing the claim, that's on hold. So our sister, she either resubmit, she says she's gonna resubmit. Betty Bob said her claim was denied, talk to the hand, and then, but we're gonna work that, say resubmit it. Okay, good, that's good. Where y'all at, or is your claim been approved and you sitting back? Mine was approved, but there might be others. Now, let me know. Did we answer the question? How can Senator Tuberville make six figures and still receive a food stipend similar to SNAP benefits and have a problem with us? He gets more than what a veteran with a 90% disability rating get per day or even per month. Do you think, how you feel about that? You think him speaking against our benefits? I ain't saying them getting it if they're not saying nothing. I'm talking about him in particular, not Congress as a whole. Talking about the one that's speaking on us, and he's hypocrites. Now, see, I knew in 1999, combat veterans were judged differently. Yes. When I got back from Desert Storm, I was concerned that I would be treated like the Vietnam veterans, and I was real anxious on the ship coming across the pond, they call it. I was stationed in Germany, I was in uniform. I don't know why I rode my uniform the whole way. I went to, and I was on a commercial flight because the MAC flights kept being dropped. I was stationed, and I spent $1,000 for that round trip. What did I say? I was stationed in Germany, went to Amsterdam, flew from Amsterdam to New York, and from New York to Houston. It was crazy back then. Wasn't no straight international flights like that. I want to know, did we read him? Did we read the mail on this Senator Tuberville and others? Did we answer the questions tonight? Yes or no? You might have had more. Let us know. Did we answer the question, fam? Time out. Where's Dougie when all this stuff going on? Where's he when this gentleman, Tiny Tim, is out here saying all this stuff? Where is Dougie, fam? Let us know. A-Town under orders, you must travel in uniform. Okay, I figured that's what it was. Okay, that's what it was. I forgot, man. Y'all know I got memory problems. I had all my stuff straight too. I think it was the green uniform though. I was in the green, had all my little stuff on there. Yes, answer the clear information. Okay. Thank you. Somebody let me know what Doug is when all this is going on. He say he's standing for the veteran, but he don't speak until they throw a rock at him. They say a hit dog holler. But what about us? Where is Dougie? If you hadn't seen him, his name is Doug Collins, aka Ducky. We don't know his age. Huh? He's born in a manger. Wearing a VIP badge. Last time we saw him was October 6, 2025, when, coincidentally, when the Washington Post put that hit piece out He didn't say nothing until he got attacked. Family, unprepared means unsafe. Are we preparing you here, family? Has this us interacting with each other and the information that H-Town is putting out, is it helping you to prepare? How has it helped you to prepare to deal with the Tiny Tims? How has it prepared you to deal with the Gades, with the Dakota Myers, with the Senator Tubervilles? So answered. Yes, H-Town answered the problem. Okay, we addressed the issue tonight. What did you learn? How can we deal? How are you prepared now to deal with such people that talks greasy about like Tim? Because he said some horrible things and cursed veterans out. Talking about walking around on every corner you see a service dog. Wow. Second opinion makes it easier. Yes, indeed. Get you a second and third and fourth opinion if you need it. And listen, does this idiot know that men, I'm talking about Tim Sheedy guy, don't he know that many veterans with PTSD and other mental health conditions that are at risk of self-harm, the animal helps them? That when you're in a hospital and they let dogs come in there, they found that the dogs help the patients through cancer and things like that. I'm a lonely sailor. That sounds like a song. Now, I hear you, but we gotta get you hooked up on militarymeat.com. Huh? We gotta get you right. Huh? Yes, indeed. Get you a shipmate over there. Now, Jay Oliver says, file on the right form. That's another thing. File on the right form. That's one thing we did say here. It ain't good to just file, but you got to file on the right form. Even when you file on the right form, they will still kick it back sometime. I know it's crazy. It's just what they do. What did you learn about being prepared here? Jay Oliver says, I'm assuming filed on the right form. What did you learn about being prepared here? Let us know. Be on code. Be on code. Now y'all see where I'm going with this being on code. Tiny Tim off code. Lieutenant Dan off code. We're not going to cover law tonight. We're about to get ready to wrap it up. Smash that like button, family. Please smash that like button. We thank you. Share with others if this information you think could benefit other veterans and dependents of veterans. And subscribe. We want to win your subscription here. We want you to really, enjoy and learn and get something new every time you're going to come here. Now, this ain't going to be true for everybody, but who in here gets something new every time they come to the channel? I'm going to be honest with you. I do, but you may not because it depends. So who gets learn something new every time they come in? I learn something from the chat. Even sometimes I learn stuff from myself because I'll process information based on what something I heard. And I say, oh yeah, I connect the dots. But I learned from y'all a lot. Y'all my hero. We ain't gonna do news tonight. We did a lot of videos. We're gonna cover news on the next one. So don't worry about that. Family, thank you so much. Now we're gonna go into about our channel. MG Smith said, I do. Betty Bob, so we have 15 likes and we have 11 watching. Charles said, I do. Ben Oliver said, I do. Family. Coastal said, I do. I think he's called Raider HQ. That dude, that channel, he really has some good information. I went back over there because I hadn't seen him in a while. But check him out. Betty Bob said, H-Town, You forced me to research. I forced her. That's slave labor. I have working in one of them sweat factories over making shoes and stuff. No, don't get me in trouble for running a sweatshop. Raider HQ, please go over there. That gentleman is very good at what he does. Because I now remember who he was. And I said, I know that name somewhere. And I said, I was already subscribed to him. Yes, I listened to him this afternoon. He breaking it down about how they won't, just because you get treatment, they don't just automatically, the VBA don't automatically go in there and reevaluate you. There are certain things that happen. The status change of you being in the hospital, outpatient treatment, inpatient treatment. And they're mostly looking for, and I don't want to misquote him, when you become an inpatient, like if you've been there for 21 days, they check in, they find out, and then you can get benefits. You can get 100% for a short amount of time, temporary 100% if you're in the VA hospital. Yes, please check him out because we want to get him to 10,000 subscribers. He's almost at 10,000. And people that are putting out good information like that, we need to make sure that they are recognized. Raider HQ, I'm glad you looked at him. Yeah, I've been looking, but I hadn't seen him in a while. I thought he had started doing videos for a while, and I've been so busy. Yes, indeed. He the one came over to the channel. Yes, indeed. I do. I never see a speaker. I never see a speaker, and I don't check out. Okay. Let's see. And that's why we do it here. See, would Lieutenant Gade be able to follow these rules? Would Tiny Tim be able to follow these rules? The one who went over tonight. Would Dakota Meyer be able to follow these rules where you are respectful to other veterans? Huh? Informative, interactive, troll-free, protective, and transparent. You think, which one you think they'd have the most problem out of, these guys, these shields, calling themselves veterans? Which one do you think they'd have the most problem out of? Would it be respectful, protective of the environment? You think they have a problem interacting with us? Talking about these ones that's trying to undermine our benefits, but talking about, look at me, I'm a super soldier. I think mine would be they have a problem being transparent. What do you think? Let us know what you think they would have a problem with coming over to this channel. Jay Oliver agreed with me, transparency. What y'all think? Their biggest issue or hang up as a group. What you think would it be? You think they have a problem respecting to? What about trolling? You know, different ones may do different things, but they would have trouble being transparent, telling you they're getting them government contracts. No, and especially about H-Town verify rule. Do you think I'd make them verify? Do you think I'd make them verify? I'd be in awe to be in a room with a Medal of Honor winner and I start bucking my eyes. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, whoa, woo. I bought your book. Woo. Lieutenant Colonel Gade, retired, in a room with him, he might give me a job. He hires 100% disabled veterans. Really? You say so. If I catch you in a lie too, it makes me wonder if anything you tell me is true. Betty Bob say, all because we are considered to be beneath them. That's how they feel. They keep repeating, they talk down to us like we're beneath them. Our regularly scheduled live streams are on Sundays and Thursdays, but we sometimes have impromptu live streams. We've had an impromptu live stream on Tuesday and Wednesday. Apologize for that. The last one on yesterday was like last minute, so a lot of you are going to miss it. I only did with an hour or so. You can go back and watch it. And how to contact us. Contact us. This is our email address if you want to be private. And you can do on the community tab on the YouTube channel, but at H-Town Vet Northside, the YouTube channel, but it's going to be a public comment. So if you want to be private, go through the email, and you can let me know who you are if you use your regular name, but I won't disclose any private information like that. Oh, I forgot to next live stream, we're going to get the barn pictures from our sister. I'm going to put them in a slideshow on Sunday with our sister, what's her name? Sister Farm Girl Rebel. And this is our Cash App and PayPal information. Now, let us continue. We're about to close it out, family. I thank you for being so incredible. Now we're at the after party. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything? Do you see Tim Sheedy different? You know, we call him Tiny Tim. Do you see him any different from Gade or Dakota Meyer? He's more outspoken than Dakota, I think, but not Gade. Both of them run their mouth a lot. Who you think is the most accurate, give more truthful information out of those two? Let's put it like this here. Who's the biggest liar? Lieutenant Dan, we call Lieutenant Dan, or the gentleman we talked tonight, Tim Sheether, or Little Tim. Tiny Tim. Which one you think? Tim or Dan? Lieutenant Dan or Tim? Which one is the biggest liar? Or you think is the most dishonest? Let us know. And we're going to get ready to close out. We thank you, family. We appreciate you. We want to hear from you. Let us know about that. Any questions, comments, or concerns? How is that weather where you are at? Let us know. It is 60 degrees here. The high was 76 and the low of 54. Which one was the most, insulting? Let's say insulting. Which one's the most insulting, not just lie? Who was the most disrespectful to veterans? Which one the most disrespectful to veterans? Jay Oliver say that Tiny Tim was the most insulting. Betty say the devil will not welcome any of them. Wow, that's heavy. Now, question. Since all active duty, we get 1,776 check before Christmas. Will we, honorable service, vets get? What is that there? Oh, I don't know if they're going to give us that. Oh, they giving them a check before Christmas? I wish we would. I didn't know. Tell us about that. Tell us about that. I didn't know that the active duty was getting a check for 1,776. I think for 1776. You know, that's the day of our independence in this country. Not for the blacks, but for the country as a whole. Jay Oliver says is in Louisiana is 78 degrees and clear. Now you see all you trolls, if y'all would have just came in here and chill, y'all be enjoying things with us. Now you got to be on your Finster account and your fake account and all that. Oh, both of them bad. Okay. Now, brother MG Smith say it is 53 degrees and stormy, Cooksville, Tennessee. Okay. One thing that Charleston learned was verify. How important was that when I tell you verify? And I've been preaching that from the beginning. Anybody that tell you that's my main thing, verify. Because where I come from, you can't be listening to whatever some little slicks to be saying that's talking good. Talk good game. But that don't mean they follow up with it. So what sticks to you when it comes to verify? What would you verify with Lieutenant Dan? With Tiny Tim? Jay Oliver say, just active duty, get the warrior bonus for terrorists. Wow. He should get to all of us. MG Smith say, I think that Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. This whole time I had my iPad uncharged. It wasn't charging it, but I got the plug right there. So MG Smith said, I think just active duty, that's the way I understood it. Okay. Betty Bob say 45 degrees and dropping to 36 degrees, raining in Maryland. Now, Brother Charleston says 42 degrees, raining, coming PA. Okay. In Pennsylvania. Now, Jay Oliver say an active National Guard and Reserve. I wish honorable discharge would get it. Now, I know Tiny Tim would be no. Now listen, MG Smith say, I learned verify the hard way, but I understand now why. Now Charleston say, I started this confusion because that's what I do. Now, Betty Bob say, you guys better verify like a woman about a man. She want to know where you going, when you going to be back, why you got lipstick on your collar. I don't know, woman. You the one saw the lipstick. I'm just as baffled as you. I want to get to the bottom of it. You understand? Betty Bob, thank you for being here, family. Go and finish. Keep giving your comments. I'm going to greet everybody. Thank you for doing so much research. Charleston, for bringing such good commentary and powerful questions. MG Smith, for the knowledge, the support, the wisdom. Jay Oliver, for the research, the specific topics that you hit. And if I miss you, charge it to my head, not to my heart. Brother Coasty, for how he been giving us one live stream after another. He gave us this one too. You know what Coasty say? If I tell you it's a hit, then that's just what it is. Vin Olive, thank you for being here, sitting back, bringing such a calm environment and peaceful environment. We need people like you supporting us. And for Alaskan Ice, I know you ain't here. Love, Benny, you're not here. But love, Dogface Soldier, respect. And if I don't mention you, I apologize. What's the other? Crimson Alumni 04. 66 that was here recently. Yes, indeed. Let me see here. Trying to make sure I cover everybody. Good night to the family. Love to the family. Y'all been chatting away. Y'all cutting up. And go back, if you didn't watch it, go back and watch the beginning. You will enjoy it. We done this under, and Jay Oliver was the first one here. We under 3 hours. Hopefully we can get it. I ain't gonna be able to make because it ain't but so many seconds. Because I know I gotta read what y'all said. H-Town, thank you so much for bringing all the important information this week. Betty Bob says, H-Town, enjoy a beautiful week. And yes, I will. Jay Oliver say, this is what I look for to begin with my peeps. Good night. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is a positive way to start. Then we have our brother Charlton say, I am going to play Minnie the Moocher after after goodbye. Okay. And then Betty Bob say, good night, shipmates. Go watch them with the forget those twin, they wasn't twin brothers, but the brothers at Tap Dance when Cab Calloway did that thing with them. They were very good. They could sing too. Yes, they could. Family, we just over 3 hours, so we're gonna call it a night. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And we did answer the question. We thank y'all for being so incredible. Hold on, what am I doing now? Let's see. And we talked about it tonight. We talked about Senator Tommy Tuberville's lunch money and how he sits there and try to skim our money off with it, what he's implying to people he bring up. So we went into a depth tonight. We turned over a lot of stones tonight. So good night, family. We're a little over 3 hours, and thank you for being here. And we'll see you on the next one. Charleston say good night, Shipmates family. Have a great week. Want y'all to have wonderful holidays. Be safe. Watch out for the drunk drivers out there. Please be safe and be safe at home. And talk to your family, work everything out, and show love to each other. Good night.